What's going on, everyone? It's David, this is Smart Fitness. Today, we're going to talk about something that's a little near and dear to my heart, and that is training with Crohn's disease 2.0. As you guys can see from my link that I'm going to post above over there, I've done a video before about basics to what it's like to have Crohn's disease and how to train with it. Now today, we're actually going to talk about a little bit more specifically training while on a cut with Crohn's disease. Most of this stuff realistically applies to the day-to-day effects you're going to have with Crohn's disease, and the day-to-day life, so somebody who does not have any IBD. But I would just like to break it down and pretty much make it known what can happen and what cannot happen. So, starting out here, food choices. Ideally, most people when they cut, they're having broccoli, they're having cauliflower, some people, they're having stuff that's high in essentially gas-producing or acid-producing foods in the gastrointestinal tract. This isn't usually the case for people with IBD. I know for me specifically, if I have even more broccoli than literally this much, my stomach will get inflamed, it'll get bloated, I'll be exceptionally gaseous, and my day is essentially a write-off. It's more or less the same with if I have foods that have lactose in them. So if I have lactose-free milk or almond milk, or even soy beverage on occasions, but it's kind of gross, I'm usually okay. But if I was to have cream milk or 2% milk that's not lactose-free, I usually start to become gassy after more or less my first or second cup. Now, for some people, they may be thinking to themselves, why are you even having lactose or milk products while you're cutting? Most people typically cut that out. I typically only have it post-workout or pre-workout, essentially as a way to spike my glycemic index, and post-workout, essentially to get those fast-digesting carbs that helps you hit that anabolic window. Now, as well, the macro ratios become very important. Realistically, your protein, carbs, and fats, it's debatable as to what you should have. Some people say you need to have a moderate amount of protein with lowered carbs while maintaining your fats. Other people say lower your carbs, keep your fats really high. Other people say keep your fats low, keep your carbs high, and maintain a moderate amount of protein. But what is generally well understood is having mass amounts of protein doesn't equate to being lean. At the same time, having a mass amount of carbs does not equate to more power, more strength in the gym. Your body can only handle so much, so while you're cutting, you need to use those carbs adequately and you use them properly. This is more or less the same for anyone, but at the same time, when you have Crohn's disease or any IBD, irritable bowel disease or syndrome, it becomes imperative that you're taking carbs that are not going to inflame you, are not going to upset your stomach, and are not going to make you feel bloated while you're working out. The worst feeling you want to do is get ready to do squats or deadlifts, and you get halfway down into the rep, and you blast the fart out, and you don't know if you're going to shit yourself. Pretty much everyone's been there if they've tried and failed and tried certain pre-workouts or certain pre-workout carbs or meals in general where their stomach just doesn't agree with them. But for those with Crohn's disease, it becomes even more difficult, realistically, to know what is going to bother your system. Because the way I look at it is, say you have a stagnant pond, and every little piece of food that you're having is like a drop into the pond. It's going to have a ripple effect. Depending on how big of a ripple effect, it's going to affect your stomach. So if you're having a food that's creating a large ripple effect, no matter how big or how dense it is, if the ripple effect is large enough, it's going to cause a GI distress. And you want to limit that GI distress. So, in what I've learned is not having mass amount of carbs, not subjugating your fats to a level that's so low that you're having low omega-3s, and not having mass amounts of protein. I've noticed that having lots of chicken, steak especially, tend to cause my stomach to feel like crap, especially if I'm having a pre-workout as my meal. Post-workout I'm usually okay, but pre-workout it bothers me quite a bit. I don't know if it's because I'm increasing peristalsis while I'm working out, or just my body doesn't enjoy it. At the same time, I'm not going to sit there and have peanut butter pre-workout because it's dense and it's heavy. Usually pre-workout I'll have something like a banana or some oatmeal, something that's slow digesting with a fast digesting carbohydrate in the simplest terms possible. But at the same time, you don't want to sit there and have some sort of cruciferous vegetable, even if vegetables don't bother your stomach, because it's just not ideal. It's not going to give you the maximum output for what you're putting in for your body. Next we're going to talk about overtraining. Everybody can experience overtraining, but with the substantial water loss, hydration loss, salt loss, electrolyte imbalances that come about with the day-to-day struggles of somebody with IBD, it's imperative that you pay attention to your body. If you find that you're getting fatigued and you're only halfway through your workout to a point that you feel like you're going to pass out, you feel like your shirt's getting kind of crusty, generally that's a sign that you're low in sodium and low in electrolytes overall. At the same time, you're probably low in water. Even if your macronutrients and your food choices are good, if you're not having a strong amount of water, which I'll send the link to my other video on water and why you need to take it up top there, it's very important that you do have this water to basically not only control your body and help with peristalsis, but to help your body feel better. In terms of overtraining, know where your body limits are. If you felt like crap the last couple days, don't go in the gym and expect to pound out a high intensity or high rep or even a high weighted workout. This goes for everybody, IBD or not. But at the same time, with those who have IBD, you need to pay attention to your body. I know for myself, doing cardio generally tends to help my body feel better. And resistance training I enjoy, but it doesn't always make me feel better. There's some times where I go into the gym and I feel bloated and I feel like shit, but if I do a little bout of cardio in a range that feels good to my body, based on how I'm feeling, I'm able to go in and pound out the weights to a better degree. It's all about listening to your body and knowing what works for your body. At the same time, medicine affected. Even if you follow everything, for some people, their IBD symptoms are just so strong and so virulent, we'll call it, that it just sucks the life out of you. I know when I was on methotrexate, I was always sluggish, I was always tired, I always felt like crap. And now that I'm on Humira, which is an immunosuppressing drug, my immune system is slightly more compromised, so I'm susceptible to the common cold, as well as other infectious diseases, quite easily in comparison to those from the average population who have a healthy immune system. So my medicine that I'm taking, even though it's helping me in terms of Crohn's disease, it could be affecting me in terms of what I'm trying to do aerobically, anaerobically, strength-wise. So you need to pay attention to the side effects of your medicine and work with them, not against them. Work with your body, listen to your body. That's the main point that I'm trying to get at, guys. At the same time, gains over everything. Yes, I'd like to say that. Yes, I'd like to say that the common YouTuber says it, but no. Gains are not all that's there in life. You need to pay attention to your lifestyle, you need to pay attention to what you're doing with your life, and most importantly, you need to pay attention to your gut. If your gut is healthy, and you're feeling healthy, pound it out at the gym, gains will come. If you feel like crap, you're not going to be able to digest your food properly, you're more likely to be spending more time than you'd like in the bathroom. I hope this helped you guys. Whether you have IBD or not, I hope you found this informative, and if you didn't know anything about IBD, I hope this sheds a little bit of light into what this shitty disease does, no pun intended. Stay strong, ladies and gentlemen. Just an update. I'm down 12 pounds total. We're now at 195. Once we hit the 190 range, more than likely the calories will be around 2,800. Carb cycling will begin. Today we started at 3,000. We're going to see how it goes the rest of this week. Stay strong, ladies and gentlemen. Stay strong.